Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Hugh Riches. Today I'll be talking to Anne Tate, manager of the Hull and Humber Chamber of Commerce, about this week's Local Business Awards. And a little later I'll reveal the sports news. But first, here's Emma Lingard with the headlines.
Hello, the headlines today. Anti-fracking protesters gather in Beverley. The Finnish ambassador visits Hull and shed owners are asked to be vigilant. A group of anti-fracking protesters have set up a camp near Beverley. The site at Crawberry Hill has been earmarked for an oil company to conduct tests at 2 of its wells, though it says it is not fracking. The Hull and East Yorkshire Frack Off group are concerned that Rathlin's actions are in breach of a planning condition, which says no fracking is permitted on the site. The Finnish ambassador has visited Hull to mark the centenary of the ending of transmigration. Between 1892 and 1914, Hull was the European gateway for thousands of Finns migrating to North America. Pekka Hutaniemi officially opened an exhibition which has been put together by Dr. Nick Evans from the University of Hull, which will eventually travel around the UK. People are being asked to be vigilant when using candles following a fire in Scunthorpe. The fire on Enderby Road started after an unattended candle set fire to curtains. The female occupant and her 4 dogs were rescued. She was treated in hospital for smoke inhalation. Fortunately, a smoke alarm alerted the householder. Shed owners are being asked to be extra vigilant after 8 sheds were broken into in Hull. Properties on Aberdeen Street were targeted and power tools and other items, including a distinctive granddaughter wall clock, were taken. The incidents happened overnight on Monday, May the 5th. Anyone with information should contact Humberside Police. A £2.1 million housing development to create affordable homes in North Lincolnshire is underway. 25 homes will be built across Scunthorpe and Hacksey in the Isle of Axholme. Hull could soon become Hollywood, following a visit from members of the British Film Institute. They were there to meet the City of Culture team and potential filmmakers from the city to discuss how the groups can work together to encourage growth for the local movie industry. Foster carers are being sought in East Yorkshire and North East Lincolnshire as part of National Foster Care Fortnight. Currently, there are 180 children in foster care in East Yorkshire, but 20 more households are needed. A number of events have been arranged to give people further information. Patients in Northern Lincolnshire are being encouraged to ask about clinical research as part of an initiative to develop groundbreaking new treatments. It's hoped people will ask their GP or nurse what treatments will be right for them. Last year, more than 1,000 took part in nearly 100 trials across Scunthorpe, Grimsby and Goole. East Riding's local plan has been submitted to the Secretary of State. The plan sets out the planning policy and helps guide investment decisions in the area. If approved, it will be adopted for use early next year. A renewables energy festival is taking place in Horncastle this weekend. Organised by Transition Horncastle, it aims to inform people about alternative energies such as wind, solar and water. There will also be a series of workshops, including one on fracking. The festival is being held at Stanhope Hall in the town from 10 till 4. Love Your Local Markets fortnight starts this week to celebrate all that is good about local suppliers. Stall holders are being asked to decorate their stalls as part of it. The fortnight will also see new trader Daniel Sharp set up shop. 24-year-old Daniel sells bread and cakes across the region's markets. The young entrepreneur will trade free of charge during the fortnight as part of East Lindsey's first pitch scheme. And are you tough enough to take part in the Seven Lakes Extreme Challenge? Participants are being sought for this year's challenge, which sees event entrants run 5.5 miles through mud and water crossings. Proceeds from the event will go to the Firefighters charity, and it takes place next Saturday at the Seven Lakes in Crowle. And that's all from me. Goodbye.
On Friday, deserving local businesses will be congratulated on winning North Lincolnshire Business Awards. Anne Tate is the Northern Lincolnshire branch manager of the Hull and Humber Chamber of Commerce. Anne, many thanks for coming in.
It's a pleasure, Hugh.
Tell me, what are the awards for?
Well, they're to recognise businesses throughout Northern Lincolnshire who've performed in some way over the last year. So what we like to do is to provide awards for every size and shape of business that you could imagine, from new businesses to established, and from large businesses, extremely large businesses in some cases, down to very small micro businesses.
And what sort of things make a winner? It's not, presumably it's not just profitability or turnover. What's the characteristic that makes a winner?
Well, every award has its criteria. So obviously entrants have a look at that before they enter and read up. So it's often about turnover or business growth or the way they've supported their employees, something that makes them stand out from the crowd, basically.
And what good does it do for the lucky champions? If they win a prize, what's the benefit for them?
Well, there's a whole host of benefits really to entering awards. I think often companies are known within their particular sphere, but they're often not known about other sectors, particularly in the area. And I think it's quite useful for them to raise their profile and get a bit of publicity. And publicity is the main benefit really from the awards, because our partners in it, Grimsby and Scunthorpe Telegraphs, do a great job of promoting these businesses, both the nominees pre-awards and of course the winners and runners-up post-awards, so they get plenty of publicity, and it's a chance to showcase as well what we've got in this area, which is some fantastic, fabulous businesses, and highlight us as an area of excellence.
How long have they been going on for?
This year will be the 13th year, so it's grown every year. We started off with an award celebration of 200 at the Winter Gardens at Cleethorpes.
Oh, and blessed memory, yes.
Yes, and now we've moved to Grimsby Auditorium. We alternate between that venue and the Baths Hall at Scunthorpe. And we attract nigh on 500 to the dinner. This year we've got 13 awards. So we've grown it from last year, there was 12. But we've got a new one this year, a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is very nice for a local figure who's given to the area over a lifetime of service, but it's all hush-hush, so I can't reveal that.
You can't tell me.
Can't tell you that, so I'd have to shoot you, Hugh.
Okay, well I don't want that. That's a big event though, 500 for dinner, all the businesses of Northern Lincolnshire represented there. This is a sort of a mini Oscars ceremony. Does it always run terribly smoothly? Yeah,
well, we hope so. It does on the whole. The problem usually comes if there is any difficulty with the entertainment. We did book the act Signature, who you might remember from Britain's Got Talent a few years ago.
Yes.
And unfortunately, they typed in BN into the sat-nav instead of DN and disappeared off to Bournemouth, which was a bit of a... we had an acrobatic act in a giant bubble who slipped a disc at Leicester Forest East Services on his way to the awards. So we had to send for Dana, the contortionist from London, who arrived in the nick of time.
What, just to straighten out his back?
Well, not to straighten out his back, but to appear in the bubble for him. So, but I don't think anybody realised there'd been a kind of change of act, you know. So little things like that. We have opera singers occasionally who are very demanding and you know, must have a banana, must have it now kind of thing, you know. So, but generally it's great fun. It's a great evening, and you know, seriously, it's a great opportunity to kind of recognise the depth and wealth of talent we've got from the business community.
And who's eligible to be put up for these awards? Must they be members of the Hull and Humber Chamber of Commerce?
Oh no, not at all. It's open to any business in Northern Lincolnshire. So no, the more the merrier. Obviously they have to fit the criteria for that award. So they enter. We then judge that with a team of judges made up of the sponsors with a ratification committee, and we get down to the final 3 in each category. So it's a really great achievement to get down to the final 3. And then, of course, in true Oscar style, there has to be an overall winner. But we hope that the publicity gained for all the 3 final nominees makes it worthwhile and is good for them. That's the whole purpose.
You're peculiarly well qualified in the Chamber of Commerce to have your finger on the pulse of the regional economy, as it were. All sorts of signs that, certainly the building trade, things are picking up a bit. Is the recession coming to an end? Is the economy regrowing? We
do a quarterly economic survey, and the last quarter did give some particularly good figures. I think it was saying that 67% of companies are looking to increase their turnover this year.
And sorry to stop you there. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Now, just a quick word on some of our coming coverage. We go to the polls on Thursday, 22nd of May, to elect local councillors in many wards and members of the European Parliament throughout the UK and throughout the European Union. The Parliament is elected every 5 years. It has 766 members, 72 from the UK, of which 6 are from Yorkshire and the Humber, 5 from the East Midlands. Since 2009, it's been able to veto the other institutions of the EU, the Commission and the Council of Ministers sent by national governments. It supervises the budget and it elects the President of the EU. Love it or hate it, it is part of what governs us. These elections are likely to be more exciting than most because of new waves of support for smaller parties in the UK benefiting from proportional representation. UKIP, the Greens, and even the BNP hope to take record numbers of votes from the traditional Conservative, Labour and Liberal Democrat parties. The results could change Europe, they could change British politics, and they might give us a glimpse of the electorate's expectations in next year's general election. Estuary TV will be covering these issues in the coming weeks. I've been talking to the political hopefuls on Hot Topic and will be reporting the poll results in the news. Our region is particularly hotly contested in these elections. We'll bring you the whole story. Back to today, the sports have been active again. Hull City ended their Premier League season with a 2-0 defeat at the KC Stadium against Everton. Steve Bruce's side now head to Wembley to face Arsenal in their first FA Cup final appearance. In the rugby Super League, Hull FC were beaten 44-16 at home to the Wigan Warriors. It was better news for Hull Kingston Rovers as they drew 16-16 away at Salford Reds. Hull FC and Hull Kingston Rovers now face each other at the Etihad Stadium as part of the 2014 Magic Weekend. In the ECB Premier League, Louth beat leaders Bracebridge Heath, who are all out for 65. Meanwhile, Maninder Singh hit 65 of Grimsby's 141 for 7 at home to Lindham before the game was abandoned. Market Raisin and Market Deeping was also abandoned without play. Lashing's All-Star Cricket comes to Cleethorpes Cricket Club on the 30th of July, featuring some of the greats of the game. Estuary TV has 2 corporate tickets to give away. For details, watch On the Bench next Tuesday at 6 p.m. and That Friday Shoe next Friday at 6. And finally, congratulations to Amy Woodhead of Wheelsby Park Riding School, who's qualified to ride in the 5-year-old dressage at the Nationals. The horses are 5 years old. She'll be riding Ekehoff, owned by Olympic team dressage gold medalist Carl Hester. Other congratulations to Emma Wells and her horse Cody, who have been selected to compete in the Home International Riding for the Disabled Association event at Valeview at the end of the month. And that's the latest sport. That's all we have time for. If you have a story for us, please contact us in the usual ways, which are by email, news@estuary.tv, or get in touch via our Twitter or Facebook pages, or give us a call on 01472 315561. Until tomorrow, goodbye.